Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to make this card. I did case the idea from Lynn Dunn, another Stampin Up Demonstrator, but it was so fun to make I couldn't not share it. Here is the card we'll be making, and here is just our little sampler. And this is just done with random pieces of designer paper. So let's get started. It's fairly simple. I have all the pieces cut out already. So what you'll need are, I have 4 pieces of the Country Lace Designer Series paper. I have 2 blue and 2 gray of that paper. I also have a 3x3 piece of white and 4 3/4 inch pieces of white. And that's for the tricky part of it. It's not tricky, but it's what makes it cool. Okay, so first we'll need a pencil and a straight edge. All right, where's my ruler? Sorry about that. Okay, so just a pencil and a straight edge. And what I did is go from corner to corner and just draw an X, basically, corner to corner. But you want to make sure that you're pretty precise on this. Okay, like so. Then we want to get our silicone pad. A little disorganized here. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay, so we're going to take our adhesive, and I'm using the Tombow just because it's less sticky, if you will. So what I found worked best with this is you just put a tiny bit of adhesive on the corner. Just each corner, all 4 corners. Just a tiny bit. Oops, not enough. And I'll show you why in a minute. Now if it would work, it would be great. There we go. Okay. And that's why you want to keep this on your silicone pad so that it doesn't stick to everything. So it's just on the corners. Kind of made a little mess, but we'll be covering that up. So then you take 2 of your strips, one for this purpose I'm using 1 gray and 1 blue, and you want to line them up. These are 1/2 inch by 5 inch, and you want to line them up along the line. Make sure that you don't cross that point, like so. And then you'll take your second one and you put that on the other side of it, like so. And like I said, you just want a little bit of adhesive just to get it so that it stays in place. So you can see that the points, it's a light color on the back, the points match where these 2 meet on both sides. Now the next 2, I'll flip it this way, now we're going to be weaving this a little bit. So you want to put your first piece on, again on the corner. You want to be as exact as you can, you'll get a nicer look. Lift this first one up, put it underneath it. And again, here's where it's nice to have that little bit of adhesive on both sides. And then this one I'm going to turn. It's just easier to lift for me and show you. Again, you put that one on one side, lift this blue one here, so it'll be like the first one. Put it underneath. If you hold it all down, it'll stay in place, again, because we have it taped. So you put these down, and then you put this one down. And you want to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. So everything's lined up with the points. Now we will tape it down. So again, this is what I found worked best. Our tape, yeah, I'll try it. So I hold it in the middle with one hand, lift these up, pull them back, don't crease them, just pull them back, and put your adhesive along that line on both sides. And then put them back, like so, and go all the way around doing that. Again, this is how I found it easier to do it. If you want to try it a different way, you can, but it just seemed to work pretty well for us. No one had any issues with it. And you want to make sure this stays in place. Didn't put quite enough on there, I guess. Like so, like so. And again, this is our weaved image. Rotate it. This one has more on it. Okay, get it up. There we go. And then we put one more. And then the last one, same thing. The others are all in place, so we should be good. And you go along the edge. You don't have to worry about the center being glued because the rest will keep it in place. There we go. Now we have all of these glued down. We'll cut off, trim the excess off. You can do it, I guess, with a paper cutter, but this is not that big of a deal. Even I can do this one. And if you have any points that are sticking up, you can always fix it. Now I do get a little bit of glue on my scissors, so you can clean off your scissors with some rubbing alcohol. And I usually have pads that I don't know where they are. Little alcohol pads like for people who need syringes, and I buy them by the pack, and that's what I use to clean my stamps as well as my scissors. Works pretty good. And you can get them anywhere. Okay, so now we have our piece that looks like this. There. And this is still pretty. It still could make a nice quilt on there. But I like the way that these points are going in. And so the trick for that, which is a pretty cool trick I think, is taking a 3/4 inch piece of white and just putting some glue on there. Glue works better than tape, I found. And putting the corners to corners and making sure that this point is centered with the parts where they meet. So you can see it, this is the corner and then this meets, so that you have a perfect little arrow in there. The reason too why I use glue, because then you have a little bit of wiggle room for it so that you can move it around to make sure that it's perfectly straight. And you really can't tell that it's glued on when it's, because after this we will be embossing it with a cool embossing folder. You just have to make sure that these are square as well. I noticed when I was cutting them out, some of them I must have mismeasured and they weren't square. And I had to trim them all. Okay. So that's it for this part of it. Well, gotta make sure they line up. And now you have all those little points all put in. So then to finish it off and to flatten it out, now we will emboss it with, I'm using the, what's it called? The Eyelet 3D embossing folder. And it's pretty cool. Oh, where's my piece? I lost it. And because this embossing, or this designer paper has this little eyelets, that's why this one worked really well. So you want to make sure that when you put this on, the logo, Stampin' Up logo, or whatever embossing folder you use, is up so that the bumps go up. Place it in your folder and then run it through. It doesn't need a bottom pad on it. It just needs the gray or blue if you have the old blue ones. Okay. way. And then we have a really cool look now. And you can see that it's all embossed, and it looks like it's quilted. And then you can't even tell at all that these are an extra piece. So I thought that was really cool. Great idea. And now we will attach it to a little 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch smoky slate. Ties all the colors together. Like so. And then I have a longer piece. It's 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And just to kind of anchor it together on some misty moonlight. Oh, that's crooked. And when you have to remove any kind of, when you first tape it, if you like rip it up, you'll rip the paper. If you kind of lift it up, kind of like underneath, then you have better luck of it coming off without making a big mess. Okay, we'll put this on. I know that for a lot of experience of ripping off. We'll add that to our basic white, the thick, oops, this way. Okay, and then just add our already embossed piece. And however you like the colors, kind of centered on there. And then I just had a sentiment from the Latte Love set and put thanks so much, or else you could put, where's that other one that I had? I did one sending love. Here's the other one. It says sending love. It's a little softer look. And then I also added a not a rhinestone, what do you call these? Eyelet. No, yeah, sequins. I knew that was right. Sequins right in the center. And this is from the 4-color or the neutrals adhesive backed. So you get the copper, gold, silver, and bronze, I guess. And then these are, you only need one in the center, and it just added enough. Not sparkle, but just finished it off. And this is how I keep my gems. I try to keep them that way anyway, the bigger ones, because they fit nicely into extra envelopes. Some people keep their envelopes, some people don't. But this is a good way to store your gems, and then you can just flip them through in a container. So that's it for this one. And again, thanks for watching, and have a great day.